Welcome to M&B Air Gun Review, and as you can see, we have the GUNSAN Big Bang 5.5mm 22 caliber PCP air rifle in front of us again. This time we have a Bushnell Trophy scope on it. Now this is the scope that I always used on my very good shooting Cattleman T2. I swore I wouldn't be taking it off and on, but I figured since this shot so well yesterday that we need to give it a fighting chance and put a decent optic on it. Let's pull it back to 50 yards today and see how it groups. Once again, we're going to be running Cattleman's Covert Moderator on this. Well, because I need something that's backyard friendly. Because my new range, I do have neighbors. So we're going to keep it nice for them. And it worked. It worked yesterday. Let's see if it still holds a group at 50 yards. Yesterday was only 20 and 30 yards, but today we're going to move it back a bit to 50. Once again, this is a 15-inch barrel on this thing, so let's see how it performs. Now that being said, if you watch my video, my first review on this, if you took note, I actually did the testing and it had a loose barrel. So I have tightened that up. I assure you, we'll see. What if it shoots worse with a tight barrel, right? But I don't think we're going to have that problem. I think if anything, it's going to get better. But who knows? Haven't done it yet. Today, what are we going to be using for ammunition? I got 3 different types that I picked out today. Just kind of picked them out. Well, just because I just wanted to grab some. I have a lot of Cattleman's offerings over here that we will be going through eventually, but a lot of these I will be testing in my T2. But today, one that I put to the side yesterday was the Hollow Point, the RBT. And that's a 29 grain, and that's by Cattleman. Now, I'm not sure what line this is going to fall under with Cattleman, whether it's going to fall under the Preacher, the Outlaw, or the Undertaker. I am not sure. But the speed on these was pretty decent. I can't remember exactly what it was now. You have to go back and watch the video. But I set these to the side because these outperformed in FPS what a lighter pellet or slug was yesterday. And if you're not familiar with an RBT, this one's a hollow point, but they have a flat base on the bottom and they have a little ridge around the side here. So when the air comes up through behind it, it actually hits the bottom of the base and comes up around that ridge and pushes the pellet out. Apparently, ballistically, it increases speed. So at least that's what I found yesterday. So I was very interested in these. We're going to be giving these a shot, and we're also going to be using my favorite, thus far my favorite. Now that's open to to change, but these are the pellets, and these are a pellet over here. Barracuda Match, 21.14 grain by H&N, and these are my absolute favorite pellet to run for target shooting in, well, so far this style rifle, be it the Cattleman or the GUNSAN. They seem to perform very well in these. Maybe it's because of the twist rate in the barrel. I don't know, but they work. So we're going to use these again today, and we're also going to be using some 22 grain FX hybrid slugs with a large hollow point. Just to get some varying results. And let's see how well they hold target, varying at 50 yards, varying between the shots. So we're going to get some groups with each, and then we're going to try for a dead center shot with each one, keeping the crosshair on the bullseye, and let's see how far off we are. So stay tuned. It's going to be a little bit for me to get set up, but for you it's going to be a blink of an eye, and I'll be right back. Let's get to that testing. Bye. Okay, here we are at the range. I got this thing sighted in 3 shots at 50 yards. I just hit a dead bull. I'm gonna run up and pull that target down and put a smaller one up here. We're gonna be running these Dirty Birds today, quadrant targets, and we'll see exactly which each ammo is going to do in each quadrant. So let me get right back to you. I cut out the boring part of sighting it in. It just sighted in quick, so it's pretty close to the T2 as far as mounting on the rail. 50 yards, that's what I had the T2 sighted in at 50 yards, so it took me 3 shots to hit a little bullseye. So I'll be right back. Let me set up this target and then we'll get to it. Okay, here we are. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this quadrant target on it. It's the best I can do for you. But if you zoom in, maybe you guys can see it. But I'll do the best I can for you for what I got to work with today. We're going to be running the Barracuda match first. So these are a 21.14 grain 22 caliber. Hand load them each so we don't have any discrepancies. And on this particular one, I'm going to go for the lower left quadrant and try to throw a bullseye here. See what we got. Bullseye. We have no wind. Beautiful day. I guess it's right around 64 degrees right now. And I'm going to show you this group afterwards. And I'll cut out all the boring stuff for you today. Bullseye. Well, I guess this is going to answer the question about how accurate this thing is. Pretty amazing. I'm wondering once we get done with this and we start running into these slugs. I'm not gonna re-pump this gun either. We're gonna keep it right where it is and just keep going with it. I am curious. It was a little bit low, but still very respectable. That might even been me. I don't know if you can see that on that or not, but we're in this lower quadrant right here, right in that bullseye area. So bullseye, blowing the hole out. Okay, so I think we've used the Barracuda match enough. And I apologize for that camera view, but let me cut a break. I'll walk up there and we will get you the results here. Hold on. Okay, there we are. There's my shots right there. Not too bad, 50 yards. These two right here, this was my sight-in shot. I hit one, I put a little stick in it right there because I was so low. And I brought it up to here, and then the next one, the bullseye, and then we immediately brought it right over here. So actually, this hit right here is matching up perfectly with these bullseye. I actually could do one more click and probably drop it right in, but we're going to keep it right where it's at. Let's leave well enough alone. Now, we're going to go to the right quadrant, and we are going to run Cattleman's new RBTs and see how they perform. Okay, hopefully that was a blink of an eye for you guys. Let's try Cattleman's new. These are the RBT. Get you to focus here. There we go. RBT hollow point, 29 grain. And I'm not going to touch air pressure, nothing. We're going to keep it just like this. And what I mean by air pressure, I'm not going to put any air in the rifle itself. We are going to do 4 shots and see how they perform. Now, if you're curious what an RBT is, what we were talking about is this is what they look like here. Let's see if I can get in camera for you. They got a little ridge, flat base with a ridge, and the air comes up on the side and it increases speed. Of course, it has for me anyhow. So let's see how these perform. There's one. It's a nice morning this morning. So lower right hand quadrant, 50 yards. And this seems to be, even with a short barrel, pulling 50 yards off quite easily. That actually picked up. I'm going to keep this group to show you where it hits. I'm aiming for dead bullseye. We're not near it, but I'm going to keep aiming for it, and let's see how it groups, because these seem to have quite a dramatic raise, and I think that's due to the ballistic characteristics of the RBT. These are really, the RBTs are
are supposed to extend your range. So what I'm thinking is there might be some kind of slug rise going on here. So let's see. Very interesting, that shot. Now that one wasn't near that one. So are the RBTs consistent? That is the question, right? So I'm aiming for the same spot again. Oh, that come on the finger. Let's see what happened there. That's what we get when we load by hand, right? Something happened there. That was close. Okay. These are not as accurate. Definitely not as accurate as the Barracuda match. Although they do have quite a bit of hit down there. I can hear the echo, if you can hear it coming back. Try the last one here. See what we got. Maybe I just had a flyer there. Yeah, they're not. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this one. As a matter of fact, let me cut. I'm gonna go up and show you exactly what it did. Okay, here we are. So we have shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, shot 4, and shot 5. So they're a little all over the place. Maybe they need a little more distance to settle in, but it isn't looking very good for those. So that's going to conclude that test for the Cattlemans today. But now let's go on to some FXs and see if they'll compete with the H&Ns. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see here. We got the FX hybrid slugs. Let's see how these do with versus the Cattlemans here. We got the few out. One thing I hate about these containers here, but let's pick out, make sure they're good. Yeah, these are decent. So once again, we're gonna take 4, and let's see how these slugs perform. If these slugs actually perform better than H&N pellets. These H&Ns really impress me. They always have in these particular style PCPs. So let's see what we got here. We aimed for a lower right hand quadrant before, so this time we are going to aim for the, let's go for dead center bullseye, and see what we got. Dead center. Bullseye. Same hold it. Exact same hole. And this is the FX hybrid slug, 22 grain. This is a large hollow point. Just below that, but nonetheless very good. I'm sticking with 4 shots for these today, guys, simply because, you know, it seems like there's always a flyer in there when you start getting more, at least I make a mistake. It seems like with the 4s, groups of 4, I don't make those mistakes. Yeah. I have to say they're grouping better than the H&Ns. Let's walk up there and I'll show you, and then I'm going to put camera on the target so you guys can actually see my last two groups that I'm going to use with the Barracuda match and the FXs against each other. So I'll break and be right back. All right, there we are. There's our 4 shots right there. That grouped pretty well. That's our H&Ns right there. Very similar grouping if you take a peek. That's it's pretty good. And then we have the Cattleman over here. I'm not gonna keep them, you know, down and out right now. Maybe that particular RBT I am, but they got a lot of offerings. But this one definitely did not pass the test, and it's definitely not the rifle. So we're gonna come up here. We're going to use H&Ns, then we're going to run over here. We're going to use the FXs, and maybe for shits and giggles in the end, maybe we can try to group some cattlemen's again in the center here. We'll see what we can do. Okay, guys, I'm going to put this on camera, right on the target for you. So these RBTs are all over the place. My aim point each time was right here. I see 3 hit. I don't. Oh, my 4th one must have been over here. So that's a big. But look at this. Look at the FX. Literally same hoeing, and the H&N's just. I mean, this is some great groups right here. I'm almost tempted to do some more shooting. We got a target. I got a bullseye that we haven't hit over here. The JSBs are a bit heavier. They did drop a little bit, and the H&N's are coming right into it. So, what do you think? Should we give the? We're gonna try something here. We're just do a shot for shot. Let's do 3 shots a piece. We're gonna go on, off, on, off. I'm gonna aim for dead bullseye right here. Let's do FX followed by H&N, FX, HN, FX, HN. And let's just go shot for shot on this last target right here. Don't pay attention to these ones up here. Hopefully I'm not that bad of a shot where I'm going to go anywhere near this, but let's try that right there. See what we got, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna have to say that that was pretty close, right? Look at this here. This is. I mean, these groups are good. I mean, yeah, we're testing the gun, but the ammunition speaks volumes too, right? On this particular one, the HN did win out, but this is a JSB down here, and that wasn't me. That was definitely right on target. It's just it did drop, so you know. Once in a while we have a flyer. I guess that's mine for today. I don't know what you'd call the Cattleman's today. Yeah, those RBTs definitely need some improvement at the 50-yard range anyhow. Closer they seem to work decent, but yeah, 50 yards is a bit too much for them. But this is cool. Very similar nice groups each time. So I'm really happy with the GUNSAN itself. Let's get back up into the studio and let's talk about it. Be right back. Let's not go back up into the studio. Let's just do this right here because it's a beautiful day. What's my conclusions? Well, let's look at this target. It speaks volumes for the GUNSAN, and it's a beautiful rifle, right? Cattleman moderator works phenomenally. The only bangs you're hearing is what is hitting in the wood at 50 yards. Now, I can back this up more, but I have to go over into the other part of the lot to do that, and that's not cleared right now. We only got 50 yards, my maximum right now. Maybe I could get 100 if I clear a clearing out there, but unfortunately everything grew up by the time we moved in here, and I didn't get a chance to do that. So 50 is my limit right now. But 15-inch barrel, 50 yards, this is a good gun. I think this might be the competition for the T2, the way this thing is shooting at 50 yards. Very, very impressive. And what's really, really notable is how these Barracuda match and the FX hybrid slugs. Now, this is a pellet, mind you. Okay, these are pellets. And if you're not familiar with the shape of these, this for you. If you're not familiar with the shape of the Barracuda match, there they are, right there. So they're just an accurate target shooting pellet. And your FX slugs, and they got a cupped base, and they're a hollow point, but obviously they're made very well. And that was really, I don't think I've ever seen two ammunitions perform so similar before. I mean, these are very similar, and being so different. Very similar, performing, but very different. So that's pretty neat. Once again, the Barracuda match, H&N Barracuda match, is a 21.14 grain, and your FX hybrid slugs are a 22 grain. So very similar in weight, but very different in shape. If you're looking at my lip, playing with my dog, she caught me with her tooth, a little sharp tooth. If you haven't seen Cody yet, she's my little German Shepherd. She's beautiful. But as far as the GUNSAN itself, I mean, how much more testing can we do with it? Well, of course, I'm going to keep putting it through its paces because, wow, I'm enjoying it right now. And keep in mind, I took this Bushnell trophy directly off of my T2, Cattleman T2, and put it in the same position on the rail. And it took me 3 shots to get it on center. So, and that has a lot longer barrel than this. So it speaks volumes, I guess I'd say, for this rifle. This is a nice rifle. As a matter of fact, I think I just went from being ho-hum about it to really really liking it a lot, and it's so consistent. Now, check this out. Let me decock this for a second here. I'm going to decock it because I don't want it going out there. So we're decocked, and check bar, because I haven't added air at all through this whole process. We're just below, no, we're right at 150 bar. So every shot that you saw me take is all I took, with the exception of the first 3 to get it sighted in. So that's at 3 extra shots, and we went from 200 bar to 150 bar. So it shot that well from 200 right down to 150 using these 2 particular ammunitions. I think, if anything, this performs better at 50 yards than it does at 20 and 30. So who knows what it's going to perform at 75 and 100. A lot of it has to be that barrel. That barrel is really precisely made, and that's the key. That is definitely the key to it. So we know the rifle's good because we had 2 ammunitions that performed very similar through it. I'm very interested to see Cattleman's other ammunition, and we're going to test those. And let's use the same PCP to do that, because we already established a base line. We know this thing will shoot accurately. So tomorrow I'll try to get back out here if I can, and we'll bring the other Cattleman ammunition out, and we'll set up another quadrant target, and we'll run through them to see, well, which of Cattleman's, I say offerings. I don't think their ammunition is out. I think they're in the testing phases still. So I don't want you guys to go, well, there was that Cattleman's shit. Don't do that, because this is the testing phases, and I'm just bringing you kind of the tests, the real world tests. So which one's going to shoot the best? You know, they obviously have a lot of ammunition that's being tested right now. There's no name on this except for RBT hollow point 29 grain. But they're all over the place. I wouldn't mind if hitting the bullseye was not crucial, but grouping was crucial to me. So we're gonna place these in a special place in the studio, and we'll try to use these maybe in a different PCP to see if something else likes them a little better. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that's gonna be the case. I just don't think that even though these do weigh right, the grain is precise on each one. They seem to be very well made. This rifle didn't like them, but we'll see. Listen, guys, thanks again for watching M&B Airgun Review. If you haven't checked out GUNSAN, I think their site's up. Go check them out. A couple entrepreneurs from Turkey, and they seem to be importing a pretty decent air rifle that's unregulated and shoots that well. So keep that in mind. Fit and finish, fantastic, superb. The build quality is superb. And we got that barrel tightened up today too, didn't we? So obviously that probably made a little bit of a difference. But I have a feeling this is going to hit out to 75, even 100, even with this little 15-inch barrel. I like it, guys. Dead wind today. We got nothing. So there's no wind excuses. There's no nothing. So this is as good as this PCP is going to shoot. And with a little more dialing in for bullseye, it's going to hit dead center every time. As you can see, we're tack driving, guys. We're virtually, I mean, this is crazy, right? This, if anything, this improved the more we went. So, and these ones right here kind of looks like a bird shot. Oh, that's too bad. I don't want to see anything fail that miserably, but unfortunately it is what it is, and it is the truth. So we got to roll with that. But I bet you they're all not like that. I bet you that some of their offerings will be fantastic. Thanks again for watching, guys. M&B Airgun Review. Please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see more ammunition of Cattleman's tested through this amazing PCP, the GUNSAN Big Bang 5.5mm 22 unregulated PCP air rifle. Have a good one. Bye.